Joining us on the show today, former Chicago Bears star, 3-time Pro Bowler,
my dog,
retiree, and one of the only other men besides myself that can get a haircut during the quarantine, Mr. Kyle Long.
There's my little air horns. What's going on, boys? Thanks for having me. I miss you guys, man. I miss you guys, so I'm glad we could do this.
I miss you too, brother. I miss you too. You and my co-host are y'all got the low maintenance hairstyles going on for this quarantine life.
Yeah, I see you've been kind of low maintenance with the whole hairstyle thing in both ways. I like it.
Oh, no, put that
it
back
looks
on.
good. You look like you make a real good living doing R&B music from the 757. If I'm going to keep it real with you, you know what I mean?
I got to get them curls going.
You went to high school with all those guys behind you, but you're the rapper. You know what I mean?
I like that.
Yes,
What's
sir.
up, Kyle? What have you been doing since you retired?
Man, a bunch of nothing really. No, in all seriousness, I've tried to stay as busy as any of you guys. I think the quarantine was kind of extended for me because I went right into retirement. So we went to London like week 7. I got put on IR, and I knew it was over for me then. So I just began that social distancing then, and now it's become mandated. So I'm used to it. A lot of people aren't. I kind of hit my mental wall like months ago. Right. So I'm happy. I'm happy, Kyle. I've been streaming a lot on Twitch at Twitch TV Kyle Long, trying to build a following there. Because the big checks stopped coming, so I got to get as many of the little ones as possible. And I stream every day of the business days during the week, I guess.
So that's kind of your business now. I was going to ask you about retired life. It sounds like it's going pretty solid. I know some guys continue to struggle with it. For me, I had the opportunity to play for a long time, but when it was my time to stop playing football, I was totally okay with the whole situation. Is it safe to say that you are okay with being retired and not playing football anymore?
It's funny. I was talking to my lady in the kitchen just earlier, and I said, she was making fun of me because I just keep eating. I just eat, and I'm still skinny. But she's like,
well, you don't look like it.
She said, if you want to stay thin, you got to make sure your habits are going to have to change. You're not 330 pounds anymore. And she's got the right idea in mind. But then I thought to myself, well, what if I hover around 295 and I just, stay ready? Like John Fox used to say, you don't have to get ready if you stay ready. So that thought is in the back of my mind. Like, if I really start to mentally feel like football would help me a lot, I would do it. And I would urge anybody going through retirement or anybody going through this time right now to reach out to your teammates. If you want to talk to somebody, feel free, because it's a serious deal and we all deal with it, whether it's retirement or just dealing with not showing. You're used to having your mental clock. Okay, this time of year, I'm showing up to OTAs.
We've always had a schedule.
We don't have that right now. Right. And a lot of guys, I'm sure, like myself, struggle a little bit with that, and it's okay. It's normal.
Right.
Now, what'd you do to lose all that weight? Because I got a friend who's a co-host that used to play in the league who's trying to do kind of the same thing. I don't know if you can help him out a little bit.
You got any pointers?
Well, I would just say for me, it's nothing to eat before noon. Don't eat really if you're not hungry. And if you're hungry, treat yourself and eat what you got to eat, but cook what you eat. Because if I'm just running out to Taco Bell every night, which is awesome, I love Taco Bell, survived on it for a long time. I'm 31 now. My habits have to change. As you guys understand, as we get older, this shit changes. So cook your own food. That's a big thing. If you can do 75% of your meals where you're preparing it, you'll be amazed at the freshness and the quality of the food. And you'll just notice your pounds will change.
Yes. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I agree with that. While we got you on here, I want to talk a little bit about Bears football, man. I know they've struggled last year a little bit. How do you foresee the future going? What do they need to do to turn it around? Is what I'm trying to say.
No home is built without a great foundation, and I think that the blueprint that the Bears have in mind is a feasible one based on the fact that they do have a tremendous foundation defensively. Now, I am and I have been a big-time supporter of Mitch Trubisky. I think he has skill sets, not necessarily as skilled as, but a similar skill set as Russell Wilson. guys who can get outside the pocket, deliver strikes down the field with I would say, an emphasis on the running game and the right folks up front. It gives guys like Mitch Trubisky opportunities to dice up defenses.
Yeah.
And yesterday I made some comments on Twitter. They came to light on Twitter saying that I was writing Mitch off. Well, what I said was the Chicago Bears have gone out and they have acquired a quarterback with a Super Bowl ring to come into Chicago to, quote unquote, compete for the starting job. Now, you and I both know, having been in the league, that is considered writing on the wall for the quarterback. You don't sign another quarterback and invest those dollar figures into a guy that you don't think or have plans to become your starting quarterback.
Right. Very true. Very true. I think the thing for Chicago and Mitch Trubisky, you got to get him back to not last year's form, but the form he was the previous year. He played really well. He really took care of the ball then. As far as free agency, I don't know. I don't think the Bears made too much of a splash in free agency, but when it comes to the draft and everything we're going through, how do you feel about this virtual draft we have coming up?
I think it'll offer a unique look into some of the personalities that we've seen hushed over the years during these processes. As we know, we show up to the building, they give us our bag tag, we get on the airplane, they hold our hand, we show up here, do this, do that. But now in this time, we have to carry on with our normal business, which is the NFL draft. And how are we going to do it? We're going to do it from our homes. So we're going to get a look into every single home. There's going to be camera setups and all these people's stuff. I think from just a pure comedy standpoint, maybe there's going to be some wagers placed on, is this guy touching his face? Is he doing this? There's going to be stuff to watch, and that's what's going to be entertaining. It's not just going to be Roger Goodell or, old players walking up and introducing guys. It's going to be something we've never seen, and I think the ratings will be through the roof. Nobody's got anything else to do, so
might as well tune in.
Yeah.
What's great is everyone's told us things that we're not going to have and how we're not going to be able to do this and not that, but you gave us a positive spin on it, which is awesome.
Well, you got to look at the positive, guys.
For sure.
Former Duck, you were taken 20th overall. Justin Herbert coming out of Oregon. Where do you see him going?
Chris and I were talking about this yesterday on our IG Live, and we like the idea of him potentially going to Miami. I think he's Miami with B-Flow will be a spot that will be they'll undersell and they will overproduce. And if you have a guy like Justin Herbert, people have said that there's questions about his leadership abilities. Well, I played with a guy by the name of Marcus Mariota who was damn near a mute. Funny guy when he did talk, but incredible leader in between the lines. So people from the outside looking in could talk about leadership, but a guy like Justin Herbert coming to Miami will provide Brian Flores with that vanilla, no nonsense, winning style quarterback with athleticism and the ability to get outside the pocket on play action.
Are you thinking they're taking him if Tua's still on the board?
I think it's a potential. There's so many red flags with all the physical stuff,
Of course.
the injuries. Yeah. I remember a dozen teams wrote me off because of my ankle. That was before the draft even happened. So you never know, especially with that quarterback position.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Chicago, man, I know this Michael Jordan documentary is coming out tomorrow. You gonna be tuned in?
Absolutely.
You see me, I'm repping, baby. I'm ready.
There's nothing cooler than playing in Chicago and never being as good as Walter Payton, Michael Jordan. I mean, there's so many legends in this town, and that's just two sports I'm naming. But it's really a hats off to those guys and the legends that have come through. But this stuff will be right on time for Chicagoans. I know that the sun's coming out here in Chicago, the temperature's rising, and we get a little Bulls action in our life. So we're going to get the intro, starting at I
cannot wait. Me, you got anything else?
Speaking of Jordan, while you brought him up, I believe you were drafted by the Chicago White Sox, right?
Oh, that's
right. His weight. You got any aspirations to go out there and hit a few?
I would have to get this fixed. I would have to get this fixed.
Yeah.
I would have to get this fixed.
And that's just one arm.
And that's just one arm. I'm in a softball league. Shout out to the Buffalo Grove men's softball champion, one-hit wonders from last year. Hopefully we can get this thing, COVID, locked up so we can lock up another title. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't mad at that. You are definitely embracing this retirement life.
Hey, I love it.
Me, you good?
I'm good. You got the kids?
But look, I got two more questions. These are
Lord.
These are just some random questions from my baby girl. First, I think you remember her, but she is
Hi, sweetheart. You are an absolute fairy today, aren't you? Are you having fun with your dad?
We having fun today?
Yes.
Yeah, you have a question for Kyle?
Yes.
Ask him, what's the question?
What is your favorite ice cream flavor?
My favorite ice cream flavor would happen to be cookies and cream because you get a little bit of everything.
I told you, didn't I? What's your favorite?
Strawberry.
Strawberry.
Ooh,
She's a strawberry.
wow.
Nice.
All right. Well, you're done.
Thank you for the question.
Hey,
Thank you for the question.
Hey,
Now go
you
eat a bunch
remember
of
this,
candy.
You
Oh,
remember this, dude?
Look at this dude. Michael Jordan, you're looking pretty big, my man. Nice hat, too.
Thank you.
What you got for me? You got a good question for me?
Give him a tough one.
What is your favorite video game and can we play one day?
My favorite video game right now is Call of Duty. And you'd have to ask your dad because I know that it can be kind of a grown-up game sometimes. But when you're older, I promise you we're going to play video games, a lot of video games.
So I'll be ready.
I'll be ready.
All right.
Tell your daddy to train you up.
Got you. Get out of here, man. All right. Me, you good?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Kyle,
Kyle,
thanks for
man.
joining us, man. We appreciate it.
I love seeing you guys. Next time we'll have to go a lot longer because we'll plan it out and we'll get it so we can tell some funny stories because we have a lot of good stories to tell and
yes, we do.
we'll save it for
we do.
next time.
A little
Hey,
teaser.
man,
Little teaser.
Go do your thing in that Call of Duty tournament you got going on. Follow my guy on Twitch as well.
Appreciate it, guys. Take it easy.
Thanks,
All right,
Kyle.
brother.